Yeah. You don't put penis in your penis. You want to dock up?
Are we on?
Are you cut or uncut?
Or are we just bullshitting right
Hey, is he cut or uncut? Pat, you know.
Me?
Pat, is
Are
he
we taking guesses?
Hey, yeah, let's take guesses. Pat, I'm going to say he's uncut. Now, actually, he's a white Christian man born in America. I'm going to go for, I think Chris is probably cut. Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, cut for sure.
He's cut for sure. Chris, cut it up. What do you got? Are you cut or uncut?
Oh, yeah, no, I went to a private Catholic school. I'm cut.
Oh, dude, this guy's cut up. This
That doesn't really track, but yeah. Oh, Catholics. Okay.
Is it a Jewish thing?
Is it a Jewish thing?
The ones who like started it? I'm glad they did.
Hey,
like, talk about improvement.
I'm telling you, I do. Honestly, I just wish everybody else would follow some other trends of theirs.
Where are you going with that one?
I don't know.
What road you walking down?
I don't know. I just think, we should also adopt some of their other cultural things.
Such as?
I don't know, running the weather in the media.
Owning weather stations, controlling Hollywood.
Whatever. Anyway, this is going to be silly. What's up, dude? Thanks for coming, dog.
No problem, man.
I appreciate you.
I'm here to hang out.
Dude, you're my homie. We've known each other for a long time.
It has been, I was just thinking this the other day. I mean, probably what, 8?
Something like that, yeah. As long as I've been doing comedy, at least 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You were one of the first people that I met, and back when Wiley's Sunday Comics was like the biggest thing in Dayton.
Oh, look at us that? Talking about Wiley's.
Do you remember that?
For 20 years.
Oh my God. Sunday Comics, dude. R.I.P., baby. R.I.P. to Wiley's, dude. There's a lot of good people, brother. We had a community. The scene is way different now.
For sure.
The scene has been like influenced by social media and by other bigger scenes, which a lot of these guys are going out and venturing to and doing spots in. And they're coming back and they're bringing new show ideas and they're bringing a little more drive. And so like I love to see these young comics out here that are going to mics every single night and making new stuff up and creating content and pods. It's pretty sweet.
It is.
It wasn't like that when we started 7-8 years ago.
It's weird because now that we're like the older generation to the newer guys,
it feels weird.
But when like I was coming in, the older generation were assholes. Mm-hmm. So I always try to not be an asshole to the newer comics. I've been trying it out. I don't know if you.
I have been doing it.
It's pretty cool, right? Being like a decent person.
Yeah, it's called, dude. And that's the thing. Once you do that and like you put your ego to the side, it becomes an ecosystem where like. You put the younger comics on your podcast. Pat, I couldn't do this without Pat. You gotta like work with these guys. Let them open for you. Tell them like, hey, put the mic stand behind you. Hey, bro, don't take so long to get to the funny part. Like, cut some of the fat off the beginning of that. It's like having like I don't know, a little bit of like, how do you say? Almost respect for the business and the art form. And then knowing, hey, my days are numbered. Maybe I got another 10 or 15 years in this business.
You sound like you're already like you're on the back end. Just
this crazy thing is I haven't even been discovered.
Yeah.
That's the crazy. Hey, but I act as if I have because I will be. And that's the important part.
Manifest.
You manifest destiny.
Yeah. That's what it means.
Well, yeah, but I don't mean it like,
What do you mean? Like there's a certain group of people who get whatever they want, and then there's others.
Hey, man, you were the one over there shooting brown people in Iraq.
No,
don't come on this podcast and tread on me, dude. All right.
Not just brown people.
That's true.
There was white ones in there. The Russians were there before us.
That's true. Oh, man, that's fun. We're cooking right now, dude. So you've been pretty much cut your whole life. Then, right?
Are we talking about penises again? Yeah, I've been cut.
We're gonna circle back.
I think right out of the womb. I think that's when I did it.
Yeah, they slice you quick when
I
you're
want that sleek model.
Exactly.
It's weird because do you have a boy?
I do. I have 2 boys.
Yeah, because when they're born, they kind of give you that look. The doctor gives you the look like, are we? I was like, take it, dude. I want my son to have the sleekest penis in the land.
Dude, we did it too, but I feel bad when you watch it happen.
Oh.
Did you watch the circumcision?
Oh, yeah.
I've witnessed 2 circumcisions and probably, I guess my own too, but I block it out.
Were you looking down?
I think so. Dude, I don't know. I might have had a little gut when I was born too. So it might have been harder to see it, but All right.
Things haven't changed.
Exactly, Pat. Some things never change.
Like circumcision.
And you know that. This is a circumcision heavy episode.
Are we pro or against?
I think it's cool, but like I said, it does feel like we're mutilating.
I'm only pro when
Kids.
it's for women.
Are we not? Are we? Okay. It's a certain look that we aspire to have, especially in this Western culture, obviously, right? It's a porn dick.
Totally. Yeah.
It's the porn dick. However,
Depends on what you look up.
this is the thing. Wow. Yeah, that's true. That's a
Some
different
categories
podcast.
are more cut than others.
That's a different
but-
podcast on a different network altogether. Different website. You'd have to don't go there yet. All right. We're building up to something here. But the thing is, at the end of the day,
Edge with us a little bit.
if you take out the common nature of it, they're mutilating kids
Yeah.
from birth.
Yeah.
From the moment they're and like an important part of who you are as a man as well. So if it does feel emasculating and a little bit sort of evil.
But are you glad it got done?
I think so. It looks good.
You know?
It looks fine when I don't have to pull it back.
Right.
That's the thing.
Who's the Australian comedian that says cunt a lot?
That's all of them.
Well, I meant the main one.
That's how they talk. They're like, "Hey, cunt," and it translates to "Good morning, mom." I think,
Yeah. Anyways, he had the best bit about it. He's like, because I want my son to get as much vagina or dick as they want when they get older, and
Yeah.
it looks better. So I'm happy. Is there any real reason to do it? Aesthetics, but I'm glad I opted for that program.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't remember you did either.
And if not, my son will grow it back when he gets older.
I don't think it works. I don't think
you just, you know.
Yeah, you get stem cells in there.
That's how it works. You rub one out with stem cells. Where are we going with this?
I don't know, dude. That's the whole thing. This pod's silly. We're just we're hanging out, unlike an uncut penis.
Yes, I was gonna say, is this the uncut episode?
This is Uncut Gems 101.
Boo.
So Karwoski,
What's up, buddy?
Chris Karwoski, you have lived a long, fulfilling life, right? You've had a lot of life experience, right?
I've lived a little.
All right. So
I don't know about long. I'm only 38.
you're only 38, but still you've been in war. You've been in the military. You were in the military.
I did.
You were in the military for some years.
Yeah.
That's a big thing to go. When did you go to the military? Let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about kind of I want to talk about who you were before, kind of like what makes all this happen. How do you get Mortal Kombat and like fucking a beehive? Like, how do you become the person that you are? Right? Like, what's your childhood like? What's your upbringing like? And hold on, I'm gonna give you this is a loaded question. This is a lot. This is the pod. Basically, the pod is like, who are you? What makes you tick? What's all this made of? And then let's talk about kind of where you got the bit by the comedy bug, and then what was your influence on that early on, and then sort of how that became you starting into the business. So let's talk about you when you were younger first. You obviously went to the Army. Was that straight out of high school? What were your formative years sort of like?
Different. I mean, I went to a private Catholic school most of my life. I ended up getting kicked out in 10th grade. And I started going to the city school, Springfield North, represent. It's city schools, but in Springfield, and Springfield has a bit of a reputation. I don't know if you guys have ever heard or anything like that, but the president talked about him last year.
Yeah, we've definitely heard about it.
Yeah, we're cool. I was just kind of floating around a lot. I was, I don't know if this is, can we say a wigger? Can we say a fuck boy? Like, are we allowed? Okay. I would fall in probably in both of those categories.
Yeah, you wore like Shady Records and Echo shirts.
Echo, I almost said FUBU. FUBU was a little before my time, but what was Rock?
Rockaware.
Yeah, boy. Macy's would sell the fitteds in the back on clearance because nobody knew what the hell it was. Oh, man.
So you were a rapper until you were out of high school.
I don't know about a rapper.
But you could fit in with that sort of group of guys.
Yeah. And, grew up poor as hell. So that was fun. So I guess you just fall. You know how it is when you grow up poor and you don't have a dad. You just kind of fall into that category.
You watch 8 Mile.
Street rat sort of.
Yes.
I could never. That thought, because when you hang around like people who enjoy rap a lot, you have that thought like, could I be a rapper?
Yes.
No.
Everybody has the thought. Everybody has the
Before the end of
you had the ambition to buy the clothes, but you didn't have the means to do the poetry and start rapping on the beats.
As soon as I had that thought, I was just like, no, this is never going to work. I'm not.
You're like, maybe I'm emo. So,
and that brings us to my first wife. She was very, that I guess they called them scene kids back in the early 2000s, you know, big hair, bright colors, or lips are pierced 15 times.
That was me.
Totally.
Pat, that was you like 3 weeks ago.
And that's why we don't put Pat on camera.
But yeah. I don't know. I squandered. I meandered. I kind of just hung out. I had no idea what the hell I wanted to do with my life. Are we in a aviary? Is that near us? Are we in a bird sanctuary?
The birds in the back. I think there's a bird's nest in this warehouse that we're recording from.
I think the production team is a bird's nest. Because it sounds like it's right there.
Yeah, that's our backup crew. They're just getting audio. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
It's they also have a bird's eye view of this entire episode.
I'll continue. But
okay.
No, I was just kind of hanging out.
Hey, you started talking about your girlfriend who was probably a cutter, and then you put your finger in that wax there. Why'd you dip your finger in hot wax, you freak?
It smells good.
What the hell, man?
So
what are we doing, bro?
I was kind of just hanging out. And then I had a buddy who went to the reserves, and he came back with that $10,000 bonus.
How old are you at this point? You're just fresh out of school?
18, 19. Yeah. Graduated high school. Because I never, my mom, she comes from a much simpler brain. So it was pretty much like, oh, you graduated high school, time to get a job.
Yeah.
And I was already working at Speedway at the time. So I was like, this is as high as it gets right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they let me do night shift, and I could smoke weed and like play whatever music I wanted. So that's
kind of sick.
That was my professional aspirations. But the buddy came back from the reserves, and he's like, oh, this is the best. And I was like, hell yeah. Because turns out I got a girl pregnant when I was like 19. And don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's too late for you.
I didn't do that.
Don't do that.
I was much older. I was 25.
That's not that much.
When I had a kid.
It's still young.
I was pretty young.
It's stupid.
In your 20s. I know.
But I didn't really have a whole lot career-wise going on, so I was like, man, I'm gonna join that army.
Get that check.
Army, I'm gonna get that money. It was between the Army and the Marines. The Marines were like, listen, we'll give you $5,000. You don't get to choose we'll pick what your job, basically. You're gonna do whatever the fuck we tell you to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I went to the Army, and the Army's like, we'll give you $35,000. Let you go airborne, and you can never mind. It was a pretty sweet deal, basically. So I went Army, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I hung out. I actually went to basic and AIT with Josh Firestein, his fellow comedian.
Oh, okay.
Hit him up. And then apparently I went to Iraq with McDunn. Have you met her?
No.
Whitney? Apparently I went to Iraq with her. She randomly messaged me. She's like, do you remember me? I was like, no. And then she was like, yeah, we were in the same unit in Iraq. And I was like, get the fuck out.
That's crazy. Shows how much you were paying attention.
Well, Iraq, I was kind of all over the place. I was attached to a cab unit, and then I got switched around teams. I was everywhere.
So what's this like when you show up to a foreign country? You've been trained to basically kill or be killed, and you are out on these missions. What's going through your mind when you first show up? You're 19 still. When you get out of basic, or are you 20 at this point?
I think it was 20. No, I had my 21st birthday in basic training.
Okay, so
Drill sergeant gave me another box of 50 cal rounds. He was like, it's your birthday. He's like, you're not a piece of shit right now. I was like, thanks, drill sergeant. So we had a connection. We made out. But so I was young. I was like 21, 22. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Iraq. So when you get to Iraq, what's going down?
It's wild because
what year is it too?
2009.
So the war was definitely going on.
It was towards the end. I mean, the invasion was in 2003, and by 2009, it was just a bunch of pissed off fucking widows and their kids, mostly. Obama's president.
So Obama's president.
But I go in 2009, spent a year in Iraq. And what's wild? Both times that I went overseas, because I went to both, Iraq and Afghanistan, within the first 24 hours of you boots on ground, they show you propaganda videos of other soldiers being killed. It's like to set the vibe of when you get there. They're like, here's video footage of all your comrades being murdered. And it's like an hour-long video of That's what they do to you when you first get there. Like, hey, look at all the other kids your age that were just murdered in a pointless war.
They weren't paying attention.
The production value, by the way, not that great.
GoPros on the helmet?
I've seen YouTube videos that are better than the death propaganda that I've watched. So
wow.
It's wild stuff. But Iraq, I was in a big base. I was in Al Asad, which was basically like its own city at the time. And Iraq there was nothing going on when I got there. So it was fine. I mean, it was boring, but it was different. But I lived on like the place to be in Iraq. So the amenities were hot. Like I'm not lying when I say there was a Subway at war. Like that was a real
Subway
thing.
sandwiches.
There was Subway, and it's funny too because they always like, you want me to hook it up, brother? I hook it up. Probably shouldn't do an Arabic accent, but you want me to hook it up, brother?
Go on, dude.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Hook
Trust
it up.
me, our
Shit.
demographic would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I believe.
I don't know. It's very surreal. It's surreal to go to a KFC with a rifle strapped to your chest and, like several magazines and such. And
Can I get an extra ranch?
Can I knocking over the apps with your M4? Like, can I just, I don't know. It was wild. And Afghanistan was a little different. I got sent to because Iraq, it was, I was on the base, but I had to go out to all the little places or whatever, the places that aren't, they call them FOBs, basically forward operating bases. They're like checkpoints that you live at. So you're eating MREs and those Otis Spunkmeyer muffins.
Yeah.
God, I love those.
Those things are delicious.
They're delicious.
They send those over there to you guys?
They do. And all the Rippets we want. You ever seen
Rip It Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a quarter.
Yeah.
I think you can get 4 for
I'm
$1.
pretty sure they're government funded. But yeah.
When they say Rip, I'm pretty sure Rip It stands for like your fucking ulterior artery or whatever. How do you say your aorta? Yeah, it rips your artery from your chest.
Adrenaline
bangs. That's the last noise that you hear before you fucking have a heart attack.
Gland, yeah.
All those energy drinks are named after what they do to you.
But it was cool.
That's sweet, dude.
Iraq was cool.
So did you ever see any action when you were in between Iraq and Afghanistan? You ever
in
get
between Iraq and Afghanistan?
Well,
like in
Seattle?
Seattle?
Did you come back and do like a DV? That's what I'm saying.
Because I'll tell you some stories about Seattle. Seattle was, oh God, I missed that place.
Really?
You could get a candy bar, an eighth of shrooms inside of a candy bar for $20 by some hippie. And the candy was good too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because when you eat shrooms, they taste like assholes.
Of course they do.
But mushrooms is the one drug that the Army doesn't test you for.
Yeah, you can't.
Spinal tap.
Yeah, you can't find psilocybin.
Like, yeah, we're not paying for that. So you can do shrooms. You can do shrooms in the military.
You can do shrooms pretty much if you have any job.
Also
it's actually one of those things that's like you can slip under the radar and do shrooms. I do them a couple times a year. I go off and yeah.
I haven't touched them in years. I got out of my 20s.
You're probably due for it.
Due for it. I've been trying to talk to the VA about ketamine therapy.
Something like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go into K-hole for a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me figure my shit out down there.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You want to go to the deep, darkest part of your reality and just figure shit out sometimes.
Sometimes.
It helps being introspective because then you can get a good idea of like everything that's going on up until now. And you can kind of do the math on where you're going. And I like it. I like just getting a good reset and a good kind of clean slate to look at like what life is now currently for me and like what the trajectory of this is at my current speed of whatever it is that I'm doing.
You're right. We should give them to kids.
Well, let's wait till they're 21. I think legalize them for sure. Just like they've done pot now. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a heroic dose.
I don't think
once in your life.
I don't know if
at least once in your life
been done about psilocybin.
Well,
fair. I think there should be more because I told my son,
right.
straight up, my son's 17, and I told him I was like, weed and shrooms. Those are the two safe ones. Okay, everything else will fucking kill you. Mm-hmm. And shrooms, honestly, I feel like if you take enough of them, you could probably do some pretty good damage yourself.
Yeah, you hear stories about people not coming back or anyone who's also on the brink of some sort of psychotic episode or that's like, has a history of mental illness in their family. Maybe they're doing fine and then they take a big dose and then something snaps within them. So there are studies where this is definitely happened. Those are anecdotal just as much as ones where you've taken them and heard a story. So it's really hard to say or come up with a conclusive decision on should they be legalized or not? Because like you said, there's no sort of formal research from accredited facilities, right? There's a bunch of people that are doing it privately, especially more recently,
like
with
us,
the ketamine, like us, But like those are anecdotal studies, obviously. But as far as like John Hopkins University, who's doing a lot of psychoactive therapy with different medicines, 20 years from now, we'll have a better understanding of what it does to us and kind of how it helps us, and then also sort of the threshold to not take, right? Because that's where it always gets watery.
I hope we get a new drug in 20 years. We haven't had a new drug in a while, Well,
this is the thing. It's just like Wi-Fi and shit. It's already here. Whatever they're gonna find, that shit's already here. They're just gonna.
We have new drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about
drugs.
it, Pat.
I want to hear about the new drugs.
Could we look them up?
Is fentanyl. I mean, that's within the last 20 years.
No, I think that discovered in 1910. I think that's from 1910.
1910. George Washington discovered that shit,
It's been around.
dude.
Fentanyl's been around maybe since the 50s.
He was taking F-bumps back on the Mississippi, man.
Let's find out, Pat. I think fentanyl's been around since the 50s. It was
Are you a researcher? You should
Pat
look it
does
up.
pull some stuff up. He can do that. He can.
I don't really know. I honestly have no idea where fentanyl.
That's the thing. Is sometimes you don't know stuff, and then you're like, "Well, Google, what do you know about it?" And we could sort of
say first synthesized over 50 years ago.
Over 50 years ago. So they're talking 1970s, 1975.
That's when crack came out.
Yeah, well, they were making this shit then,
and they
too.
did great. Like, their brand was on point.
So from what I understand about fentanyl is it was first invented, Pat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it was first invented for like cancer patients and things like that. And they were giving it to people and they were not only dying, but they were having really adverse side effects because this is such a strong medicine.
Go figure.
I believe they took it off the market. And then later, maybe in the 90s, a Chinese chemist had reinvented this. So majority of it is coming from overseas. It's not actually being made here.
First synthesized in 1959.
59. Huh. And then when was it? Does it say anything about when it was sort of rediscovered and put back into the market?
Every day's a school day.
This is recently. This is like the last 20 years, I believe.
Well, then there's like carfentanil and shit.
That's the same thing.
Carfentanil?
Carfentanil is a derivative of fentanyl.
Carfentanil.
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 I think that might even just be the name of it, Pat. I think that's the actual name of it, what it originally is, and then just they call it fentanyl.
Street name?
Street name fentanyl.
Guys, we're going to get to the bottom of this.
We're going to get to the bottom of it. I know a lot of people are wondering the origins of fentanyl. It has ravished this country in a lot of ways, and even before that, I mean, we're coming down from 20 years of opioid addiction, the pill epidemic, and
good times,
dude. Good times. And this is the thing: a lot of people have lost people that they loved over this. I was one of the early people back when sort of the OxyContin boom was going on. That's what I lost my dad to the OxyContin. So even before all the interstate travel and the sort of the road to Florida, you know, how this affected the East Coast and all the Midwest with all these pills they were producing. So that's kind of where that affected me. But even now, bro, there's so many people that fucking have died from this shit. It doesn't make any sense why they're doing it, I guess. It's like, is it the same reason that one joins the army or one takes a bad job? It's like sort of a victim of your circumstances. Is that, you know what I mean? Or is that what's going on with these people?
Are we talking about addiction?
Yeah, I mean, in general, like, what do you think makes people do these hard drugs over and over and over again?
I mean, probably addiction's probably a big one when you live in sort of a life that, you know, like for me, for instance, okay, I have BPD, borderline personality disorder. So the chemicals, the happy chemicals in my brain, sometimes I don't get those. Sometimes it takes a couple days to get some of those. Sometimes I could, you know how most time you'll accomplish a project and you'll feel really good about that. I don't have that mechanism in my head that kind of does that. So, you know, when you live a life absent of the happy chemicals and you need those happy chemicals to sort of live, honestly, you get them however you can, and then you take a pill, or, you know, we have our crutches as well,
of course,
where we're not snorting oxy,
nicotine, caffeine, THC.
I've got a pouch in right now.
I do too.
I'll probably take an edible later. So
also, it becomes more than just like the things that you're consuming. It's really like your whole lifestyle. Like we're all addicted to different things. You know what I mean?
Consumerism in general.
To look a certain way, to feel a certain way, to have a certain status. Yeah, you're not wrong. Wow, that's powerful stuff. Okay, So back to the army. Did you kill anybody, dude, or not? Because I was dancing around it. I was like, you see any firefights? Ever get any action? And you're like, Seattle was a good place. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Did you kill somebody or not, dumbass?
There was 4 hobos down in the middle of Seattle Square. No,
dude, I don't want to know about your fucking. I want to know about your war crimes, dude.
I never got into anything.
I'm just kidding.
I never did anything that was.
These sunglasses have me feeling a little weird.
It's great because I keep wanting to look at the camera, but if I just tilt my head this way and then kind of.
I've had my eyes closed the entire podcast.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see shit. Honestly, it's just.
And it's also hot in here, so my glasses are so steamy, dude.
It's hot.
Patrick, are you wearing sunglasses too?
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay, cool.
All time.
Sick, dude. Hey, it's
constantly.
It's real dark over there in that part of the studio. How are you even running this thing, dude? It's crazy.
A lot of lights, yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So, anyways, May 3rd, 2012, I murdered a whole family.
Hey, was the camera on him? Oh, thank God, dude. Hey, so when it all comes out, you guys heard it here first.
I've never killed anybody.
Hold on, dude. No, switch it back to him. When it all comes out, you heard it here first. All right. We desperately need to go viral, dude.
Admit to war crime so we can pick this up on Instagram.
There are 73 people on YouTube right now. What's that?
Killing during war is not a war crime, right?
Well,
I'm just asking.
Hey, switch it back to me. I'm the expert. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what constitutes a war crime right after this commercial break.
Do you have commercial breaks?
Switch it back to Chris. Hey, and we're back.
Do you have a sponsor? U.S. Army.
Yeah. This podcast sponsored by U.S. Army.
Join the imperialism today.
Hoorah.
No, I did some things.
Like that video game you were talking. Killing the bugs.
That's what I was talking. Helldivers.
Helldivers. Yeah, this podcast brought to you by Helldivers.
God, I love that.
Watch Helldivers today. Download on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation 5.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was just doing an
Working
ad
for free, dude.
Hey, until they give me a cease and desist, we're just going to keep doing it.
That's fair.
All right.
I think you can say whatever you want as long as it's not monetized.
I don't know if I can say whatever I want.
Literally whatever you want.
Well, whatever I want, but there's things I don't want to say that people probably think I want to say.
I do think you want to say it.
I know.
Anywho, I didn't kill anybody.
What about that family? What about that poor family? Dude, you're going to end up on a YouTube video somewhere. They're like, this guy confessed to a murder.
I hope.
And then they look.
That's my way.
Well, this is the case of probability. Someone probably did die on that day in that part of the country.
It takes to be the I'll be the comedian who killed a guy.
Well, dude, comedian,
I'll do it.
That's not going to make the headlines. They're not going to. Nowhere is it going to say comedian kills family of 5. It's going to say murderer, horrible monster, handsome, sexy Thor monster killer guy with a huge dick kills all his family.
It's actually going to be my stage name.
That's a mouthful.
Monstrous, beautiful guy with big dick.
That's a mouthful.
Who killed a family.
Dude, speaking of stage names, a couple weeks ago I went to an open mic, and this is so petty, but me and some other comics, we signed some fake names up. And then we left. But I just think it's funny that someone had to read those names.
Where were you at?
And just wait. It doesn't matter where I was.
He was at Carmichael's.
I was at Carmichael's.
Oh, then it's funny. Yeah. If it was just to Jeff and Alan, it's hilarious.
Dude, we did it. It was Caleb, Jeff, and Alan. Yeah, it was Alan.
Jeff and
Alan's the fat one.
That's the fat part of Jeff.
Yeah, Alan is the fat one if you don't know. But so
Caleb.
Alan was
Jeff
running.
And Caleb.
Alan happened to run the mic that night, and we signed up. What is it? Oh, okay, from his face. So we signed up. It was like Funny Man, the Comedian, Mike Dropper, the God, or something like that.
The God,
or something like that. And there was these two guys at Carmichael's that looked like they were rappers. And so Caleb was asking the comics. He was like, "You guys know this comic?" And I was like, "Nah, why don't you go ask one of those guys over there?" Dude, and he never asked them.
And they stabbed him.
He got scared to ask them. And I was like,
He
dude,
had
just
Carmichael's?
ask them. Yeah.
I'd be scared too.
And this is funny because from the beginning, he was like a little weary about it, right? But then like 5 comics down, we put another fake name that seemed to be a normal name. So it's like, yeah, you think the chaos is over. And then 20 minutes later, another awkward silence. That's all it is. I'm just a petty troll. And I enjoy doing things like
At least
that.
you're honest.
It was a good time.
Good. So war was hell. War.
Would you go back?
No.
Dude, what if you got drafted?
Fuck the U.S. government. No, it's always funny because vets usually go into like one or two categories. Okay. And it's like your black rifle coffee drinking fucking t-shirt wearing like my grandpa was war vet. I'm a vet. I love this goddamn
His pocket knife was made in the USA.
Fuck my truck right now in front of all of you.
I'll fuck the shit out of this truck.
Or there's the other way where it's like sort of spastic weirdo living in a basement growing LSD.
Timothy McVeigh types.
Yeah. I'm definitely more on that course.
Yeah.
than any, like,
I can tell.
know.
Look at your hair, dude. You're like, dude, you're becoming more and more of a guy who's on the run every day. Like, you're slowly slipping off the grid every time I see you.
Running from life.
Yeah.
No, it's, I don't know. I'm definitely more of that. Like, I hate the government.
Yeah.
But I believe in the government.
Tell me this. What's your favorite government conspiracy? As a guy who was in the business, what's your favorite
business?
What's your favorite conspiracy? I mean, you were a foot soldier, but still, what's your favorite? You were just a pawn. What's your favorite? I was
enlisted, so yeah.
I just keep
probably that Elon Musk had a bad penile surgery, so now he can't have sex ever again. That's why he has all these kids through IVF.
That doesn't feel like a government conspiracy, but that's pretty out there.
It's pretty solid.
Okay, so you're saying Elon Musk can't have sex?
He can't because of his weird, messed up little dick.
You think this is the clip? Every time something obscene happens, I'm like, this is the clip.
You know what's funny? When I first got hired to my day job, my boss and I were driving around and he was talking about how great Elon Musk is. Talking about he's going to change whatever, blah, 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 and it got quiet. And I was like, man, I hope somebody murders that guy with a brick. I hope somebody smacks that fucking idiot right upside, just mollywops him, Debo style, and just knocks his ass out. I hate him. He's like, oh, you don't like Elon Musk? I was like, no, actually, I don't, turns out. And that's how he found out about my politics.
Nice, dude. What's your beef with Elon Musk?
I mean, where do we start?
I think wherever you start. Where does the beef start?
Elon Musk.
This guy's got beef with Elon Musk.
He's the representative of the most villainous archetype that we have in this country. He is the head boss of tech bro. People that have this godlike sort of complex that believe that they're the solution. No one man is a solution to anything, but they think that they have alone control the power to change whatever, put mankind on this direct path to glory and I don't know, whatever for the rest of life. And they're not. They're usually just end up. What has Elon Musk done that has benefited society? Name one thing.
I don't know. He's done a lot of things that benefit himself as far as the companies and the money.
He's done a lot of things. What one thing that people will be able to look back on and be like, thanks to Elon Musk, we now have blank.
I think it's SpaceX.
Okay. A failed astronautical company. So we have that.
It's not failed.
It's failed. If it wasn't for the government giving SpaceX all of that money, SpaceX would have been down and defunded years ago.
It's basically the new NASA, though, right?
Because that's another. I mean, well, here's the thing: Elon Musk uses SpaceX to sort of subsidize government contracts, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why wouldn't we just put that into NASA? NASA, unfortunately, is kind of broke because it doesn't make a lot of money. Turns out, Turns out, building a lot of rockets and sending them to space is not a very profitable business model.
They're draining billions of dollars out of taxpayers' money every year.
And SpaceX tries to say that they're making a business out of it, and he gives those weird predictions like we're all going to be living on Mars. And I can't do an Elon Musk impression. I've tried. It's very. You have to. I can't do it.
It's jarring.
It's
what
I think that I can't. I don't know, but I don't know how we got on this rant of Elon Musk. But
we were talking about our favorite government conspiracies, and you said that Elon Musk cannot have sex, which is, I think, one that you might just have started.
No, we can Twitter it right now. I promise.
This feels like you're like, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm going to start a rumor.
I have a list. Okay, you have an on-site list, right?
Yeah,
a list of people that on site you're fighting,
busting that ass,
no matter what.
That's right.
My on-site list goes JD Vance,
Okay.
because I'm from Springfield. I like to give a stare, like you're going to put the pieces of the puzzle together. He was an Ohio
Senator.
politician,
Yeah.
and he threw Springfield, Ohio under the bus because of that whole fiasco last year. I had to take my kids out of school because of all the bomb threats we were getting. I will fist fight you, JD Vance. I promise. You know, JD stands for Jack and Dudes. His name is Jack and Dudes Vance.
That's crazy.
Says it right in his website.
That's crazy.
Look it up.
Jack and Dudes.
Jack and Dudes Vance. Anyways, number 2 is Spectrum Internet.
You're gonna fight Spectrum.
I will get Spectrum out on the street right now. I will fist fight them.
Did you just see an employee?
Prison rules too. Like it's getting dirty.
Yeah, Spectrum employee.
I fucking hate Spectrum.
What are you, a MetroNet guy?
Are you sponsored by any chance?
Yeah.
You guys aren't.
Switch camera.
Okay.
This podcast is brought to you by MetroNet Internet.
Mint Mobile.
We'll be right back after the sponsor.
I don't think you have a sponsor.
Hey there, are you alone?
Keep going.
Hey there, are you alone? Are you at work right now, slaving away for the corporate man? Then buy
Yes.
Lululemon pants. Comfort for modern day slavery.
Yeah,
okay, and we're back.
There you go.
So war sucked.
Turns out.
Did you stand up when you were overseas?
No, I didn't really think about doing stand up until I was at the ass end of my Afghanistan tour. My boy Booker.
USO tour? All right, go ahead.
We went through all the bases. I wore can outfits. Bob Hope was there still.
That's great.
It was weird.
It's weird. Yeah, you guys.
Dead for 15 years, but somehow he was there.
Well, that's American technology. They're keeping it hidden from the rest of us.
He was AI. No, it's just kind of because I knew that I was getting out of the Army. And I was a little flip-floppy on it. Like, should I stay in? Like, because I'm almost, if I had stayed in the Army, I'd be able to retire next year. I'd be set for the rest of my life.
How long ago did you get out?
2013, 12 years ago.
So you would have needed to do like a 15-year career to like get the pension.
Yeah,
and
to get everything.
Okay.
I got my disability, though. I'm at 40%. So
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Is it mental disability?
Sure. Anyways.
That big dick broken or
yeah,
what?
no, I did get.
Breaking hearts.
Well, I was in a training accident in California, and it fucked up my left foot for like ever. So I get a little bit of money and some PTSD things.
Do you want to talk about that? What
My foot?
Yeah, like what do you mean training accident? What the
So-
fuck? What the fuck? You guys using live rounds?
We were there's a training facility in California that you have to go to before you deploy. And it's mostly just because it's out in the middle of the desert and they're trying to simulate the environment that you're going to be in. I can't for the life of me think of what that place was called. But basically, you're not even allowed to have a cell phone there.
Area 51.
Nope. You're not even allowed to have a cell phone there. Like they take it away from you because you are there you're in the box, as they say, for 2 weeks. You're there for a week getting everything ready, 2 weeks training, and then a week tearing everything down. While I was there, we were trying to get, it was basically a hub for a striker. I was in a striker unit. So it's one of the wheel pieces. Fucker weighs like 600 some pounds. And the chief wanted it out of the back of this pickup like right now. We were trying to wait on a winch to like pick it up and actually move it with a machine. But he's like, no, we need it now. We need it now. So like he got 8 of us to try to pick it up out of the back of a truck. One of us slipped and the thing fell right on my foot.
Fuck. 600-pound tire?
It was in a box, like a pallet box.
Oh, okay.
But that thing landed right on my foot. And my buddy took out a knife. He had to cut my shoe off because my foot started like expanding. I got care flighted to Weed General Hospital.
Weed General.
Weed General Hospital.
That's sick.
It was great.
Dr. 420.
Yeah.
Paging Dr. Dab.
Are you done?
Dr. Green.
There it is.
Go ahead.
But what the hell was the name of that place? I don't remember.
Weed General.
No, the hospital. Training facility in California. I guess it's a pre-deployment training facility in California. It's by Bakersfield, I believe. Fort Irwin.
Fort Irwin.
I think so. That might be it.
That's where your foot got pallet jacked.
Yeah, and I had to go to Weed Hospital.
That's crazy, dude. Okay, so that you got injured and then still deployed.
Bicycle Lake Army Airfield.
No, that's not it. Maybe it's not Fort Irwin. I'll remember it in 3 days.
That'd be perfect. Comment on this video. And you guys comment on this video if you know where he's talking about. And you don't. But if you do.
No, anyone who's been in the military, because everyone has to go through there before they deploy. So anyone that's been in the military has been deployed knows what I'm talking about. But anywho, got injured there, and it was funny because the chief felt bad because of him. I got injured, so to make me like not make any noise, he gave me a coin. Like while it was all crutch, and I don't know if you know this, crutching through the desert fucking sucks.
Well, at least you had your foot in the door at that point.
I want to die. I want to die right now. But no, it was. I got a little injury, so that.
So were you technically a foot soldier? All right, that's the last one.
I was a 1 foot soldier. But yeah, NTC, National Training Center. That's what it is. God, NTC. Anyways, what were?
Yeah. This podcast brought to you by the NTC.
No. Fuck the government. It's, you know what's weird? And now for the first time, like we're starting, because back in the day, like we were talking about the height of McCarthyism, right? If you were a guy that was speaking out like, hey, maybe communism isn't so bad, you'd get a fucking visit from the government at your door.
Yeah.
80s and 90s, that kind of stopped a little bit. They're like, people just talk shit, whatever. Now it's coming back with people like tweeting. You could just say like, fuck the government. Secret Service will be at your door.
Yeah.
With a whole new Gestapo ring, like fuck ICE. And then all of a sudden 3 masked dudes are checking out your backyard. Isn't that wild?
It's pretty crazy.
We've regressed back to that point in society.
Well, we haven't regressed. I would say that now we've just, as far as the government's concerned, we've progressed in terms of surveillance.
Fascism.
Well, surveillance, right?
Which is a pretty, I would argue, heavy part of fascism.
Okay, of course. You could definitely equate those two things. But what I'm saying is, now if they want to know where you are, they don't even have to have cameras in your house. The Wi-Fi is a camera. There's a recording device. Check your Twitter. Check your location.
There he is.
There he is.
Get him.
Get him.
Let's get him.
Yeah. It's like, do you remember Enemy of the State with Will Smith? That was from the 90s.
Yeah.
And those satellites were like, and those guys in that war room were like looking at every camera in the city, and they had access to everything.
Computer enhanced.
Back then. This was back then, though.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's the push of a button, and we have AI. Dude, have you seen this fucking AI program where you send it a picture of yourself that you took out somewhere, and it will show you a video camera, like live feed of wherever you were when you took that picture?
I think AI is going to be the catalyst to the end of our society.
Well, it's also going to be the end to like catching serial killers and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Maybe.
It's so far ahead of us and the like what we can comprehend.
I don't think it is, though.
You don't think?
I don't think so. Because AI, as it stands right now, is an actual AI. It's not a real thinking.
Still
program.
a learning model.
It's machine data learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the generative stuff is getting interesting. I think it's going to be used. I think the 2028 election is going to be bumfuck.
Oh, as far as like the
deep fakes and everything else
and the ads.
Oh,
you're gonna
my
see.
Lanta.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
You're going to have to explain to all your older relatives that no, Kamala Harris did not jerk off Joe Biden in a Waffle House in New Jersey.
Dude, I just saw an AI video of Will Smith and Chris Rock pouring baby oil on Jada Pinkett Smith. Have you seen this?
No.
It looks so real.
That's my point.
It looks so real. I was blown away.
There's already so many people with like failed comprehension when it comes to media literacy. Like it's only going to get worse.
Well, we're moving towards like a society that's like idiocracy at this point,
Yeah,
right? Because there's so many dumbasses that just keep fucking and fucking and fucking.
And you know what?
And anybody who has sense about them are like, we're saving up money. We're gonna wait till we get in our 30s before we buy a house and have a kid. Those are the smart, educated people, right? They're taking their time with life. But people who are poor and don't really have a lot of options or opportunity, they're just fucking and fucking and fucking. Just hot, dumb people.
I'm so glad that this has become like the Doom Pilled podcast.
Dude, hey, it's getting worse every
Life
week.
is great.
Too.
Keep fighting. Don't give up. But what I'm saying is, yeah. I mean, yeah. What was your original point? We're smart. Everyone's dumb. That was what I was getting at because
I think
you said
right. We're smart and everyone's dumb. Yeah.
no. We're dumb. Everybody's dumb.
Everybody's dumb
I
as
think
shit.
there are certain people that are intensely specified in intelligence in very small micro fields, and those are the people that are carrying progress of our society. But the rest of us, fucking idiots.
Yeah.
We're morons.
Right.
All of us. And because I think a lot of people say, like, what's with all the dumb people? It's like, you're dumb too.
Yeah.
We're all dumb.
Yeah.
That's why no one man can rule. Kill your kings. You know what I'm saying?
This broadcast brought to you by killyourkings.com.
I'm not paying for that fucking name. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm not paying the $24 per year.
Pat, pull that up and buy it right now. Go ahead. Go to
domain
GoDaddy.com. That way, if they click that way, if anybody searches that, they automatically get to
GoDaddy
come to this
still
podcast.
exists?
Hey, you tell Daddy to go still, right?
Yeah, I tell him all the time.
Yeah, Pat talks to Daddy all the time. And
Who's Daddy?
Well,
Is it you?
he's someone who goes.
I brought some intense energy out here today.
I like it, dude. Honestly, a guy who was injured in between wars is pretty like, dude, it's so crazy. That's a pretty sick story, but it's also very unique that you're like, yeah, I mean, I got injured and I was technically in the army, and so now I get a check from the army based on someone who. Did you get a Purple Heart for dropping that thing on your foot, or is that,
I wish.
is that
but
a
no.
crazy question?
No, I mean,
You were
there's-
technically got hurt and you were deployed.
it wasn't on a combat.
Does it have to be in a fire, like a firefighter or combat?
I think so.
Okay.
Because if not, then why didn't I get a Purple Heart?
Yeah, they're like, hey, dude.
I'm gonna hit up the DAV later. Like, hey, can you file some paperwork, man? I
If
need
they
a
hear
Purple
this,
Heart.
like every Marine is gonna they're gonna fucking jump in the lake, and then they fucking drown, and someone revives them, and they're like, technically, you saved someone's
Yeah.
life.
I think it worked out for me though, because when I was injured, my unit that I was originally with was getting deployed. And they offered me, because my contract was technically up 4 months into the deployment. They're like, hey, your contract will be expired. What do you want to do? You can extend your contract till the deployment ends. We'll give you an extra $250 a month, tax free. I was like, that's the option right there. Let's do that one.
Yeah.
Because I'd been to Iraq. I wanted to go to Afghanistan too. And I want to go with my friends, like my unit that was going. So I ended up getting put on basically security team, convoy security teams. We would just kind of drove around the colonel and played spades while he did meetings and stuff with all the locals or other colonels or whatever. It wasn't really too exciting. I mean, we Afghanistan was more exciting than Iraq, but we also had better digs, if that makes sense. Like I was on a better base. Iraq was mostly boring, but I lived in kind of a shithole. So those were my two tour experiences.
Yeah, that sounds like a really, really unique thing, bro. And like, there's a small percentage of the population who gets to go overseas and sort of see things from that perspective.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't recommend it. There are other things. Go to college. Go to college. I mean, now it's more of a my political ideology is anti-imperialist, and it's. Technically, Marx said that veterans were a very important part of a communistic regime because they know how to do it, like sex. They know how to fuck.
Yeah,
that's what Marx said in the
they
book.
know how to kill.
Yeah, no, with sex.
Oh, okay,
that got weird.
That did get weird, and that's okay. That's what this is for.
That's what
we like getting weird. How long have we been going, Patrick?
We've been going for 49 minutes. Also, killyourkings.com is available.
Oh.
No shit.
Not for long.
What's the domain cost? What is that, like $20 a year?
$11.29 a year.
No shit.
Oh, wow.
This podcast is sponsored by namecheap.com.
Namecheap.com. You guys go over there, tell them we sent you, and we're
It was
back.
more expensive on Squarespace. So.
Dude, my glasses are all the way fogged up. We got to get a fan or something in here next time.
You should get some air moving.
I want to find out more about you, but I'm also so hot.
Yeah.
And we are both, I feel like we're all uncomfortable.
It's sweaty in here.
I feel like it's sweaty in here. I can barely see through the glasses now that I'm opening my eyes. And this has been a lot of fun.
Chris, you have any great... we're on that Troy Mayflower
Plug
show
your dates, Chris.
June 13th. Yes. There is... I got some things for a little later in the year, and they're pretty big, but I don't want to mention them.
Okay. Well,
Until the contract's signed, I don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
got it.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the USO tour, everybody. Make sure you go get tickets for that.
See me on the Tonight Show.
You're going to see him on the Today Show, the Tonight Show, the afternoon show. This guy's going to be on all times of the day. He's going to be big. You saw him here first. Chris, thank you for coming, my brother.
Not a problem, man.
It's
I
been awesome
appreciate it.
talking to you. Pat, you're the man, as always.
I appreciate you guys.
Bye, Woodies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Who's Woody's?
That's
Those are our fans.
That's our fans.
Woody's.
The Woodies. Yeah.
Oh, I should have.
Still
mentioned
recording?
my podcast.
Oh, wait. He's still recording. Hey, yeah. Chris has a podcast. Tell him about the podcast. God
I
bless
took
you.
off my sunglasses and I got sneezy.
Well, I'm
I'll put on
allergic.
my glass. God, it's so bright in here.
Are you allergic to sunlight, you
Apparently.
fucking Norwegian vampire?
Jesus Christ.
Did you tell them about your podcast?
Comics and Dragons.
Comics and Dragons.
It's
I've been on it.
D&D with comedians. Yeah.
I was on your show. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're a little bit of a hiatus for a couple months, but we're coming back, I feel.
But there's stuff
Towards
they
the
can
end
go
of the-
watch now.
Yeah, we have a back catalog.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
what's your
Comics
YouTube
and
channel?
It's YouTube
Comics and Dragons. Guys, go watch
Comics and Dragons.
Comics and Dragons. Let's say it all together. 1, 2. Comics and Dragons.
Penis. God damn it.
Comics and Penises coming soon, but for now, just Comics and Dragons.
Dragon D's ball.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.